I find it interesting how one case leads to another. This is a story of how I met an outstanding general surgeon who came to America from Haiti. As many know, Haiti is an impoverished country, suffered under various dictatorships for decades. That was the environment into which Dr. Roger Malebranche was born. Despite numerous societal and cultural challenges, he obtained both an elementary and high school education in Haiti. He was even able to take pre-medical college courses at a Haitian college. Ultimately, he made his way to America and was admitted to Columbia Medical School. The first time I met and consulted with Dr. Malebranche was for a medical malpractice case involving a patient of his who was a doctor herself. She'd been admitted to the emergency room with abdominal pain, which she believed was appendicitis, but the attending physician disregarded her self-diagnosis and gave her a painkiller instead. Unfortunately, her faith and trust in her fellow doctors turned out to be regrettable. By the time the doctors on duty recognized the appendicitis for what it was, the infection had spread to other parts of her body, causing permanent damage and chronic pain and suffering. Dr. Malebranche had performed the surgery on her to remove the ruptured appendix, so I consulted with him as part of my client's case. In an unusual twist, the patient physician, my client, wished to speak directly to the hospital's risk manager and the insurance specialist in charge of her case. I agreed to allow her to speak for herself, and I accompanied her for any support she might need. After much candid discussion about the incident, the hospital realized their error, offered to settle the case right then and there. Now, that case ended quickly, unusually without a lawsuit, actually. But my friendship with Dr. Malebranche would continue until after his retirement. Sadly, Dr. Malebranche himself suffered a serious stroke not long after his retirement. He'd begun to show signs of recovery in the hospital when he suffered a second stroke. The physician's assistant who was on duty had ignored repeated requests by Dr. Malebranche for more blood thinners, which Dr. Malebranche requested himself, believing he was experiencing further signs of an imminent second stroke. The doctor, we believed, was himself a malpractice victim. We took the case to trial, and we were met with significant resistance by the judge, who rejected an unusual amount of evidence that we offered, including witnesses and exhibits. Even worse, at the end of our proof, the defense made an uncommon number of objections to all of our evidence, which the judge kept sustaining. When we were finished, the defense made a motion to have the case dismissed, even before they offered any evidence themselves, and the judge shockingly granted that motion. This had never happened to us before, ever, or since. Our appeal went to the New York State Supreme Court Appellate Division, and the 5 judges there courageously and correctly reversed the trial judge's dismissal, sent it back for a second trial. Unfortunately, again, it fell into the lap of the same judge. It was during this time that Dr. Malebranche discovered what he was convinced was the reason for the judge's negative view of his case. The judge and the physician we were suing were old golfing buddies, or so he believed, though we did not buy into his notion. I told him we were confident that we could win this case, but Dr. Malebranche became adamant and surprisingly made the decision to drop the case, saying, quote, "I intend to build a new life and put this behind me," unquote. He thereby showed how unique a person he was in his willingness to move on in the face of very adverse experiences. While I was disappointed that I was not able to achieve justice for him, I'm delighted that he and I remain close friends up until his death.